folks, this is Dean Curry. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. This is Dean Curry at Cooking Healthy for You, Rising Star Enterprise Well-Being. However, what we are doing today is not going to be a health dish, so it's not actually going to be on my channel, but I will send a private link to everyone I love as a little Christmas present. You can make these cookies. We're going to make 3 sets of cookies, a pistachio, cranberry biscotti, because I got nothing else to do with my time. And I guess we're going to make, really make chocolate chip cookies. It's just nothing wrong with them, just chocolate chip cookies. That's just too one-dimensional to me. So I make a triple chocolate chip cashew peanut butter. Peanut butter, that sounds right. Cookie, and it's absolutely delicious. And lastly, we're going to make, I don't know, what else do we have here? We're going to make what's known as a Buckeye. And that's sort of like covered in chocolate with peanut butter inside. And it looks like an eye with a peanut butter Buckeye. And it's absolutely delicious. So we're going to go through all of that. Let's show you some of the ingredients here for the triple chocolate crazy peanut butter. Peanut butter I still have to get out. So it's really just about a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. And we have we're going to first set up a double broiler. If you don't know how to do that, you put a little water in, a little metal dish on top, and you melt the chocolate. It's better than doing it on a microwave. You come over here, you have 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, which you're going to melt. We'll put that over here on the stove. And we're going to take our cashews and our 4 ounces of milk chocolate and 4 ounces of dark chocolate, mix those together. We're going to have a little salt, 1/2 cup of baking powder, 2 eggs, 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup of brown sugar. You could cube the butter. Okay, you're not melting it, you cube it. And we'll put these to the side, these to the side, these to the side, these to the side. I separate these because we're going to melt the chocolate, then combine it with these 3 wet ingredients, and then we're going to add the dry ingredients. And before we add the dry ingredients, we're going to cool it in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to add the dry ingredients and then put it on our cooking sheet. Use 2 sheets. And we're going to, spoon out a little, put it on here, put it back in the fridge for 30 minutes. Then at 350, 12 minutes, you're good to go. 12, 14 minutes, depends on the complexity of your stove. So let's put this up there. You don't have to put this on a heavy flame. You could just put it on like a medium flame. You don't want to burn it. And the whole idea, you have to have water inside the pot. The whole idea is to just keep it moving, okay? The whole time, you keep it moving and it'll melt right up. You're just moving it around, okay? Just like this, moving it around, okay, until it all melts, all right? Yeah, don't make it too high of a flame. You want it to be like a medium flame. It'll melt. You'll be thinking for a second, oh, it's not melting. It'll melt. Just takes a little time. You just got to keep moving it around. Now, as it's getting melted down, this is a little trick. Most people don't do it this way. I just like the butter to be evenly distributed. So I add the butter to it, and I continue to spiral it. Just the way I do things. This is getting there. It also makes it easier to stir when the butter's in here. If all the butter doesn't melt, that's fine. But as you can see, the chocolate here is all kind of melting. So we'll just keep that on for a little while longer. And this way, the butter gets evenly distributed. That's the key. Then you're going to shut off your ingredients. And I added about a tablespoon, a little bit more than a tablespoon of vanilla. I actually like vanilla, 2 eggs. The brown sugar, half of the brown sugar is already in there, 1/2 cup. I mean, this is not the hardest thing in the world to make. You just kind of add it like this. Okay, keep stirring it. It's a little hot, so I'll use my holder, and you just kind of add it together. And then stir it all together. In fact, if you really want to get that out of there, keep it from getting hot, you could stir it together, all right, this way if you like, or over here. Then you're going to put it in the fridge for 15 minutes. So just make sure it's cool. Then the next step is to take, this is creamy peanut butter, right? That's one. And you take a second one. Okay, hold on a second. You take a second one. All right, you know, it's not a lot of peanut butter, it's 2 tablespoons. And what I want you to do then is sort of take a masher and just mash it in, and then we're going to cool it for about 15 minutes. And you're basically using your potato masher to get the peanut butter sort of all through there. And then we're going to put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes and then add the dry ingredients. While that's cooling, we're going to whisk together the all-purpose flour. You add about a half a teaspoon of salt. You don't have to measure. In fact, I haven't used a measuring cup this whole time. No need. You got to know what 4 ounces is, 8 ounces is. You know, after a while, you never have to use a measuring cup ever again. Then you use about a teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. That'll work. Mix it together, and then your cool ingredients, or your cooling ingredients, wet ingredients, are going to come out in a minute. We're going to add that together. Then we're going to fold in all this nice cashew, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate. And we're going to put it on the pan, and then let it cool in the fridge for about 30 minutes. A couple of things you want to have, like a little grated, raised grated thing that you can put the cookies on, little cradle, when they come out. After you let them sit for 1 or 2 minutes, use the dry ingredients of the salt, baking powder, mix together. Here are the wet ingredients. Okay, take those out. All right, and we're going to mix this all together, and we will be right back. I would start with half. Put half the dry ingredients in and just sort of mix it together slowly, rather than put everything in all at once. Okay, and we're going to add the rest of this there, just like that. And we'll mix this all together. At this point, you know, you have to struggle a little to mix it, so I'm just going to add it all to a much bigger bowl. Okay, just make sure that you get all the ingredients out of there. All right, there you go. And a little hot water on that. And we're going to continue to mix this mixture together, and it's almost there. The consistency should look a little bit something like that, nice and gooey. Then you're going to take your cashews, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate. You're going to add it. You're going to mix it together. Then you're going to get your parchment paper ready, and we're going to show you how that's set up, and then put it in the fridge for about a half hour. You don't want to over mix it. When people are mixing, so just mix together, it's good to go. Then you're going to take these and you're going to make, you know, take a little spoon. I like to use a spoon. You can actually use one of these guys if you want. And we're going to line them up. We actually want to see me do it. It's really not much to it. Take it like that. Take it out, drop it. Okay? You don't have to really pat them down. They'll come into form. Okay? I'm in. Move these guys over a little bit. And drop it. Okay? And that's pretty much how it works. That's pretty much how they look. You don't have to push them down, and then About 15 minutes in. It's going to be in there for about 30 minutes. I'm going to put these in the fridge now. 350, put it on about 15 minutes. Hello there. So that's going to be in the fridge for 30 minutes. I would preheat the oven around 15 minutes in. A little chocolate in here. Of course, I'm going to eat that. And just have everything ready. Have your tray ready to transfer the cookies after 1-2 minutes. It's actually not that hard to make cookies, you know, especially these. These cookies are outstanding. Outstanding. You're going to absolutely love them. So we will be right back. Okay, so we're taking out our cookies. Did them. All set to go into the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes, depends on your oven. When they look puffy or they're sort of resistant to your touch, if you want to say, they're pretty much done. And it's better to undercook them than overcook them, if that makes any sense. This is going to go in, and we will let you know when they come out. It's like butter on warm bread. See you in a bit. Cookies should be out. Do it 2 hands, ambidextrous. Cookies should be out in a little bit, and about 5 to 7 minutes. You might want to check on them. Don't check on them too much. You want to keep the evenly distributed heat in the oven. Okay, folks, we're going to take out. They look nice and puffy. I believe they're ready. I'll show them to you in a second. Here, let's lower this so you can kind of see what's going on when they come out. Oh, we're going to take these out. Wow, this toast smells so good. And look at that. Look at that. Nice and puff pastry. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Came out absolutely beautiful. Look at these gorgeous cookies. We're going to let them cool for 1-2 minutes. Make sure there's space in between. And then we are going to put them in a nice cookie. Wow, they smell so good. A nice dish, and put them on the bin. Let them sort of cool down for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, or you could pop one in your mouth. Whatever you want to do. Making miracles happen here. This will not go on the Healthy Cooking channel, but I will send you a private link that you can make them for Christmas. Christmas isn't really about, you know, finding the healthiest alternatives. Christmas is more about enjoying life and having fun. And that's what we're doing here during the pandemic, making miracles happen. Dean Curry, Rising Star Enterprise for Well-Being. Have a great day, and even better tomorrow. We have more cookies on the way. Dean Curry here, cooking healthy for you. Here for the happy holidays. Happy holidays. Beautiful time. Very hopeful, very inspired. I feel fantastic. And I'm going to show you, even though it's cooking healthy for you, and this won't really be showing up on our cooking channel, everything is produced by the show. And this is going to be Christmas cookies. We already made, as you know, the triple chocolate peanut butter cashew cookies. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just had some. Unbelievable. 4 o'clock in the morning, making miracles happen. Making miracles happen, 4 o'clock in the morning. So we are going to make a cranberry pistachio biscotti Italian cookie. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. It looks very Christmassy too. You've got the red, the cranberry, the green, pistachio. Okay, so we're going to lower this down, show you what I'm doing here. Okay, first and foremost, it's very easy to do. Get a bowl together. Okay, there's your bowl. Take about a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a little less than a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and add the rest equaling the 1/4 cup, not that I ever measure anything, of butter. So it's maybe not quite a 1/4 cup, maybe an 1/8, you know, or a 1/16 short, and then fill the rest of it with melted butter. Boom. Okay. Boom. Beautiful. Then you're going to take your sugar, which I believe the sugar is about a 1/2 cup. Okay. I mean, you could put healthy alternatives on this, but it's Christmas. We're going to mix this together, okay? I mean, can you put it into a blender? You can, but I mean, come on, all you need is a whisker for this. Then you're going to take 2 tablespoons. I must like vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. No need to measure. 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Make sure it's pure vanilla extract. Okay, very good. You're going to take a little bit of salt. Okay, about a half a teaspoon. Okay, gotta do much here. You're going to take baking powder, no less than a teaspoon. Okay, get that in there. Helps it rise. Okay, and you're going to take a cup and a half of baking powder. Flour. And then you can kind of remove this whisker. You're going to mix this all together, making miracles happen. It's very easy to do. Mix this all together. I mean, how much easier can this get? And people, oh, making biscotti. It's not that hard. And you're going to slowly add your egg. 2 eggs, okay? 2 large eggs. Make sure they're large eggs. Very important. Mix that all in, okay? Yeah, you know, if you feel it's too sticky, it should be a little spongy, not sticky. Okay, it shouldn't be like totally wet. Just add a little bit more flour until you get the right consistency you want. I mean, that's more or less what you're looking for with the flour. See how it's a little spongy? It's sort of bouncing back. That's sort of what you want. Then you're taking your cranberries, mixing those in, and your pistachios. And I'm going to mix those with my hands in a moment. So you're going to, I'd probably say, you see how it's spongy? That's what you want. You know, if it's too wet and not spongy where it's bouncing back, you probably need a little bit more flour. I'd probably say 2 cups because I tend to be a little heavy-handed with eggs. I say 2 eggs, but I really kind of put in 2.5 eggs. So you just gotta, you gotta always, with dough, it's not always about the perfect measurements. You gotta kind of like feel it out. If it doesn't feel right for you, you need to add a little bit more flour. I swear, sometimes I make the same exact thing with the same exact measurements, and for some reason the dough doesn't feel right, and I have to make adjustments. And that's more or less what I'm asking you to do. This is pretty much right. Okay, you don't want to add too much flour, but that's pretty much coming out the way that I want. And then you're pretty much going to, I noticed that the pistachios are more on one side of this, so you just got to work it through a little bit. Then what I want you to do is basically separate it into 2 balls. There you have 2 balls. And bring this baby over here. You're going to make 2 logs. Very simple. Make the logs make the logs a long way. So you basically, okay, all right, make little cookies here. We'll make 2 logs. Okay. Alrighty. Yep, there you go. That's 1. There's the second one. Oh, I think the second one's going to be a little bigger. That should be about the same. You see what I did? I saw the pistachios were a little heavy on one side, so I just smushed it a different way. Okay. It'll be little biscotti cranberry. Just kind of. See how you work that? Okay. Separate these babies a little bit. They need to be right next to each other. Okay. There you go. This is at 300. Okay, it's going to go in there for about 30 minutes. 35 minutes. 35, 45, somewhere in that range. Depends on how hot your oven is. Wow, that tastes good. I'm going to go in the oven. Then it's going to, let's put that in the oven. Let's get a time check at, we'll put those in from about 35 to 45 minutes. Should come out absolutely fantastic. Okay, and then we're going to take them out. Or let's say check them around 35 minutes. We're going to take it out, let it cool for 10 minutes, cut it, lay it flat on its side, lower the temperature to 275, put the biscotti back in, and then it'll be done 10 minutes later. Whole thing take about 45 minutes. Okay, so we will be right back. Hello folks, we are back here at Cooking Healthy for You. We have our 35 minutes is up, so we're going to put this down so you can see it come out of the oven. What we're basically going to do is take it out, leave it out for 10 minutes, okay, let it sit on top of the stove, lower the degrees to 275, leave the oven a little open just so it cools off a little bit. After about 10 minutes, get the oven right. Then you cut the biscotti and you put it flat side down and let it cook for another 8 to 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes on 275. Okay? Let's put this down. Here, let's put these glasses over here. Always like to show you it coming out of the oven. Alrighty. Woo! I'm going to put this to 275. Okay. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Woo-wee! Look at that. Get a close-up look at that. Look at that biscotti. Came out perfect. Always make sure it's not sticking. There you go. Good. And we'll be back. At this point, you want to cut the biscotti. It's been about 10 minutes. And biscotti is cut on an angle. You want a sharp knife. Wow, look at that. It looks fantastic. Okay. You cut it nice and slow. Doesn't crack. There you go. That's one piece. Okay. Make sure you curl your fingers. You want to cut your fingers off. There you go. That's two. You can even hold it together a little bit. And it's three. Four. And five. And I break a little piece off. Oh wow, that's so good. On the side, and then you just cut it through. If you want, some of the sides fall off sometimes, but if you really want to get it, go to the top side, cut first, and then cut through. Okay? And it's a little better that way. Whoops. And cut to the high side, and then cut through. Okay? Cut to the high side first. Well, forget that piece. Cut to the high side first, and cut through, so on and so forth. Okay, so this more or less is how it should look. Biscotti. And then you're just going to toast them right back in for about 8 to 10 minutes. Should come out perfect. They already taste unbelievable. Okay, let's see. Let's take our, let's use this guy. Let's take out our biscotti. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Absolutely amazing. Oh boy, look at that. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. The cranberries, the pistachio, very Christmassy looking. Absolutely beautiful. Well, there you go. That's about 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, something like that. Making miracles happen here at Cooking Healthy for You, although this isn't quite the healthiest meal in the world. Cranberries are good for you, so pistachios. Believe it or not, we added a little bit more butter than just straight oil, which body processes butter a little better in some ways. And I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and this is amazing. I tried the Cranberry Pistachio Biscotti. It is absolutely amazing. So, that's coming. Shut the stove off. I wish you well, and we have the Buckeyes, the chocolate peanut butter Buckeyes, coming up next. Hello folks, Dean Curry here, Cooking Healthy for You. This is the third part of making our chocolate chip cookies. And let's fix this hat a little bit. We made the Cranberry Pistachio Biscottis. We made the triple chocolate with cashew and peanut butter rather than a regular chocolate chip. And now we're going to make chocolate Buckeyes. It's big chocolate, looks like an eyeball with the peanut butter as the dilation, violet eyeball in front. And it's about 6 a.m. 6:30. I guess we start around 3:30 a.m. It's what we do here. We make miracles happen. We get up, we make Christmas cookies. This isn't a healthy version of Christmas cookies. It's Christmas. Let's have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a little fun. So I'm going to basically take a little over a cup of peanut butter. Okay, you know what? Let's lower this. Let's show you what I'm doing here. Okay. About a cup, a little over a cup of peanut butter. Let's get to dip these out with. We're going to put the peanut butter in here. All right. Oh, it has to be creamy peanut butter. And when you take it out, the peanut butter, when you take it out of the jar, make sure we get all the peanut butter here. I want you to make sure that, let's just put this with a little soap, that it's soaked. I want you to make sure that you whip it when it comes out because it's, it's thick. All right, we're going to take vanilla extract, teaspoon. We're going to take the butter. Here's the butter. Now, the butter has been sitting out, right? Here's what I do with the butter, okay? Before we add the confectionate sugar to it, we're going to take this will help soften it even a little bit more. I just want to sort of mix it. Put that in there. Okay, here's the butter. Just kind of mix it around. Get it in there. And the butter really isn't mashed. So, take another spoon. Make sure we get all this off. Okay. And we have our double boiler set up. You basically put water inside here. This is water. Take a metal, and we're going to melt the chocolate. Okay? Very easy to do. Add a little salt. Okay? Very easy to do. And then I like to mash. I like to mash the butter. I just like to get the butter around. You basically take a masher. I mean, you could use a food processor, but this is the way I like to do it. Okay? You basically take all this stuff off. And you just kind of mash it. I mean, I don't want to totally blend the butter in because it sort of melts into them. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to mash this again. Hold on, let's put this over here. Going to mash. And we take our little spoon. See, the butter's getting worked in. I mean, you don't have to really trouble yourself. Oh, I got to get a blender and trying to teach you an easier, more manual way to do it. So you start making cookies. You know what I'm saying? Put this over here for a second. Put this here, put this here. Just kind of mix this up a little. See how it's getting nice and smooth? It's like the butter's already mixed in. Didn't even use a blender. It's almost like the butter's part of it already. You save time. It's not necessary. Okay. Now you're going to add the sugar. All right. Let's put all the sugar in there. It's 2.5 cups, by the way, of sugar. Oh, it's powdered sugar. Okay. I'm just going to kind of work it in. Work it in. Work it in. Okay, keep working that in. Keep working that in, and then when you start to see the powdered sugar disappear, it's going to be time to make little balls, little peanut butter balls. See how that's coming out? It's so beautiful. See how the confectionate sugar just sort of disappears? Boom. And then you're left just with the mixture. You don't want to overmix it. You just basically want it to kind of come out like that. You see what I'm saying? Now we're going to make little balls. Put our gloves on. We'll be right back. Okay, it's real simple. You could take a spoon. It's probably about that much. It's probably about 2 tablespoons. All right. And you just roll it into a ball. Okay. Just like that. And you put it on the thing. And we'll do all of those and show you when it's done. There you have it. You have about 10 of those, and we're going to put them into the refrigerator for 20 minutes. Then we're going to melt our chocolate, 2.5 cups of, or 8 ounces of chocolate. And then we are going to use the double boiler and melt the chocolate, and we're going to add vegetable shortening to it, about a tablespoon, a little more than a tablespoon. And let's bring this up. A little bit more than a tablespoon. That will basically keep, the chocolate hard, and that's what you want, So you have to add a little bit of shortening to it, and that pretty much does the trick. Okay, so we'll put these in for 20 minutes, and we will be back. Well, we're back, and we have our double boiler. You don't want to put it on like high. You want to put it on like medium, and you don't want to fry the stuff. And you basically put in your 8 ounces of chocolate, and you move it around with a wooden spoon, which I did have a second ago, which I'll get in 2 seconds. And you move it around at the whole time so it doesn't stick. Alrighty, moving stuff around here. Got my wooden spoon. Just going to use that. And got a whole bunch of stuff going here. I'm going to move this around and see how that goes. Oh, this takes time to melt. I'd rather melt it slowly than high. Some people use the microwave, but I really don't like to use the microwave unless I absolutely have to. Okay? And this is, it will almost feel like it's not going to melt, but it will. You just have to give it time. And like I said, medium flame tops. You can see it slowly starting to melt, and then you're going to add a tablespoon of vegetable shortening, and you really need that so it hardens. Otherwise the chocolate will stay soft. Okay, then we'll take about, I guess that's about a tablespoon of shortening. Need that shortening so it gets hard. Okay, And great, we'll take our cover. I always cover our stuff. And we're going to continue to mix this. As you can see, it's nice and silky. That's what you want. You don't want any lumps. Okay, we're going to shut the gas off. All right, well, this is more or less how you do it. You take a skewer, and it should hold on pretty well. Let's move everything over. Okay, and we're going to dip it. Get it all around, sort of make it look like a little eyeball. Okay, and you put it here onto your thing, and you take this off, and you use the back of a spoon, and then you could basically use the back of the spoon to fill up the hole, okay, on there. And you go through all of them the same way. I sometimes like to just get a little bit of a runoff, just turn it to the side, get a little bit of a runoff, and then just use the back of the spoon, put it right on the thing, and then just, you could use the back of the spoon just to kind of put up that hole, okay? Make sure that you wipe off your skewer in between each dip, okay? So you don't get chocolate on the eyeball. If your spoon skills aren't up to par, after you make the little round Buckeye, you don't stick the toothpick in too deep. That's, I think, very important. As you put this down, you get the little guy out, okay? Then you could actually use the skewer itself to create a little surgery for you. And there you go, okay? Just another little trick. So we'll show you another one here. What you could do is just enough, right? Just enough to where it's almost falling off, right? Put it down, and then just sort of try to make it fall off the skewer on its own, and then just pat it dry. Fill in the hole. Perfect. Okay? Perfect. That was actually a really good one. And there you have it, folks. And the runoff is fine. You don't have to worry about that. It's going to go into the refrigerator for half an hour, and we will be back. Okay, folks, they all came out. You could just use a spatula. Doesn't matter if there's a little runoff. That's not a big deal. And these are your Buckeyes. Okay, so they're all set. They look absolutely beautiful, don't they? And it's been a wonderful morning. 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock. We have the Buckeyes, the Cranberry Pistachio Biscotti, and the triple chocolate chip cookies with cashews and peanut butter. Making miracles happen. Happy holidays. Okay, happy. It's not a healthy meal. It's a happy meal. It's a happy meal. Happy holidays. Have yourselves a wonderful, and you guys can make this. This is not hard to make. I tried to make it as simple as I could. So make it, enjoy holidays, and it's so delicious. You got to try it. Have a great holiday. Have a great day, and even better tomorrow. Make miracles happen. Be hopeful, be positive, and have a happy holiday. Dean Curry, Rising Star Enterprises for Wellbeing. Have yourself a wonderful day.